Hi, and welcome back to Hill and Ponton Social Security Disability Blog. I'm Natalia, Jofre, the Social Security Section Supervisor.
And I'm Shelly, the Senior Social Security Attorney.
So in our last segment, we were talking about schizophrenia, and we gave you some of the parameters for this disability and things that Social Security considers or how it affects different people.
Right.
And of course, we got to talking. We've had many, unfortunately, clients with schizophrenia over the years, and we wanted to give you a couple of case examples.
Right.
So
it's so hard to narrow down. I know it is for
I
me
know.
too. Because what tends to happen in at least what we're told from our clients is that between 18 and 25, usually males will start to experience whether it's auditory or visual hallucinations or really disorganized thinking and not understanding what's going on, because this isn't something that they've suffered from since childhood. It's usually a very sudden onset, and it doesn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of the person getting into treatment. And like we were talking about on our last video, because of the young age, and not solely, but a lot because of the young age and probably the sudden onset, it's hard to get people to be compliant with taking a bunch of medications at that time because they don't really understand what's going on.
Right.
Yeah. And I've had multiple clients. I had a veteran recently that was heartbreaking, and he was suffering from schizophrenia, and he had been on the streets and in and out of inpatient stays, I would say 10 times in a year, in 1 year. In different towns, in different cities. He had been mugged. He had been cited for sleeping on the park benches. And his mom was trying desperately to help him. And we did get him approved. But I did hear that he was, back sleeping in the woods again. And it's just really sad because more than likely there's that compliance issue that's still going on.
We have a lot of clients that have that issue. And I would say that for most mental health cases, for most cases in general, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but obviously compliance with medication or treatment is extremely important.
Yes.
But I do notice that when it comes to schizophrenia, judges tend to be a little bit more understanding. Maybe, they're not giving them permission. It's not like it's okay that you don't take your medication, but it's almost as if though it's understood that it's part of the disorder,
right,
to where that lack of compliance, for it to lead to homelessness. And it's not that it happens once or twice, it's that it actually ends up happening more times than not.
For sure.
For at least in my experience,
right.
For you as well. I had a client, this boy had just been amazing, great student, Dean's List, first year of college, just did phenomenal, star athlete, star student, great kid, no behavioral issues. And all of a sudden, from one day to the next, he was 20 years old. And the father literally felt as if though he had lost him. Didn't want to leave his room, couldn't get out of bed, just became almost physically ill from what he was experiencing. And they took him to the doctor, and sure enough, they ended up not only diagnosing him, but he became a danger to himself, and they ended up having to institutionalize him. And in a case like that, it's heartbreaking for that child, but it's also so difficult for the family.
It's so hard.
To go through that and understand what's happening, and you have this child that's giving you no trouble at all, and now all of a sudden they need to be taken care of for the rest of their life. And in that case in particular, I dealt directly with the father for the most part. And I think it's important to talk about things like this because people need to know that they're not alone, that you're not the only one with this disability. You're not the only family member that has someone with this disability. These are cases, these are examples that are relatable. And I think that it's important sometimes for people to know that they're not in a unique situation. It's unique for them, and every
Right.
case is different. But the circumstances or the similarities, I don't know, for me, I would at least feel comforted knowing that someone else has gone through this and that there's someone that knows how to deal with this.
Right. Definitely. And I think I don't think that the judges, again, or Social Security would give a an okay on it, but I do think that there's an understanding that sometimes substance abuse may play in with schizophrenia as well. It's definitely not anything that we would condone or say that clients should be doing, but it can be a pattern that you can see, especially with noncompliance, to where they may go back and forth a little bit with substance abuse as well.
Yeah. That's another form of self-medicating.
Right, definitely. And I've had a client before, and it really got to the point with him where the mother had other children, and there was a certain amount of, I don't want to say fear, but it was just an uncomfortableness in the house with the other kids and with the parents. And so it really is a family disease because it really is hard for people to deal with it. I agree with Natalia that more people should talk about it, because really until I started practicing disability, it wasn't anything that I would have known that was so common, honestly.
Yeah. Well, we're going to keep talking about mental health issues and other forms of disability and listing, so please stay tuned. But if you have any questions or concerns in the meantime, feel free to call our office or visit our website.
Thank you.